Welcome back to Carneades.org. Today we are going to be continuing our series, A February Fortnight of Knights and Knaves. This is going to be an extra special bonus video where we're going to be dealing with a puzzle that isn't actually about knights and knaves. It's a very difficult but very interesting logic puzzle called the Island of Blue Eyes. It's also known as the Blue-Eyed Islander puzzle. So, having escaped the city of Lem, you set off on a boat to find your fortune elsewhere. You find yourself on a strange island called Blue Rona. There are 300 people on the island. Of those people, 150 have blue eyes and 150 have brown eyes. One night at a celebration where all the islanders are present, you say how nice it is to see at least one other person with eyes like yours. Note that you have blue eyes. Suddenly, the celebration stops, and without explanation, they send you off on a boat with a book by the famous logician L.N. Cornelius, who we learned about in a previous video. In the book, Cornelius explains that he visited the island, and that on the island of Blue Rona, no one knows their own eye color. If ever they discover their own eye color, they must leave the island on a boat that leaves at exactly noon. All of the people are perfectly rational and make a point to see everyone else on the island every day. There are no mirrors on the island, and no one ever talks about eye color or anyone leaving the island or any of the rules that we've just stated. At first, you think that this is no big deal, and you were just banished for talking about eye color. But then, after some thought, and being such a great logician, you realize the horrible thing that you have done, and what will happen to the people of the island. The question for you is, what will happen on the island, when will it happen, and why? Hint, the answer is not nothing. As a bonus to the bonus, what is the simplest statement that you could have uttered that would cause everyone to leave on the next boat? There's a number of answers to this. What's one of them? Now we're going to take a look at the solution to Escape from Lem, the last video we looked at. If you don't want to see that solution yet, pause the video now. So, this is a pretty complicated problem. The first thing you should do, though, is to prove that G is a knight, because that's something we can do. We can do this by doing kind of an assumed conditional proof, assuming that C is a knight and seeing if it follows that F is a knight. If C is a knight, then both A and B have to be knights. That's what his statement says. If A and B are knights, then S is safe to drink, and either T or U is safe to drink. If this is the case, that S is safe and either T or U is safe, then either E or D must be a knight, as one of their statements has to be true. If either E or D is a knight, then F's statement is in fact true, because it just says either E or D is a knight. Therefore, if C is a knight, then F must be a knight. Since we've proven that, G's statement is true, and because G's statement is true and we don't have any ordinaries here, G must be a knight. If G is a knight, then H must be as well, since the only way for his statement that he himself and G, being knights, imply that A is a knight and B is a knave, the only way for that to be false is if he were, in fact, a knight, that the antecedent of the statement were true and the consequent were false. Therefore, because his statement has to be true, that means that the consequent also has to be true, because the antecedent is, in fact, true. And A is a knight and B is a knave. If A is a knight, then S is safe to drink. That's one of our safe drinks found. If B is a knave, then neither U nor T is safe. So the remaining safe drink must either be V, W, or both, because we know that at least 2 drinks of the 5 must be safe. If B is a knave, so are C, D, and E. Their statements must all be false. And if E and D are both knaves, F must be a knave as well. So our current list is A is a knight, B, C, D, E, and F are knaves, and both G and H are knights, leaving 3 knights on our panel. I says if there are an even number of knights on this panel, then W is poison. The only ways for I's statement to be false is if, in fact, there were an even number of knights on the panel and W was not poison. But the only way to get an even number of knights right now is for I to be a knight. But that would make the statement true. Therefore, the statement must be true, and W must be poison. Since there must be two safe drinks, V also is a safe drink. Stay tuned for the thrilling conclusion to The Island of Blue Eyes in another special video tomorrow. Watch this video and more here at Carneades.org, and stay skeptical, everybody.